What's the training like? Because one of the reasons why when I saw you working out, I was like, yo, you work out like aggressive. Like you're like angry when you're working out. I was like, I don't see girls working out like that. And like
Yeah.
you were going ham.
I lift.
And no, but even like your intensity too.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even see guys working out like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what the hell? And then I find out your story and I was like, oh, you train like that. And then that's when I was like, yo, I would love to speak to you on the
Yeah.
show just because it's a dope story. So like, what's your training regimen like?
I try to get into the gym every day. I usually do weight training. Like I'm naturally slim, so I just strictly build muscle. So I lift heavy, I eat a lot. But yeah, I didn't pick up a weight until I started competing. Like I didn't care or know anything about this. And then when I'm training for a pageant, there's no stopping me. I go in the gym twice a day. Like
Is there like a like fighters in the UFC, they have a training camp. Mm-hmm. So like, 12 weeks out of my fight, I go into training camp mode, 8 weeks out, depending.
Yeah.
What's the duration of your, I guess, let's just call it training camp for a pageant?
Yeah. That's funny you say that. Sergio used to be like, "You train harder than I did at my fights. Like this is insane, you know." So, yeah, it was like set up. The coach would set it up for me. So, it would be like she would give me like workouts for twice a week in the beginning, like, and then it would be like a 3-month window leading up to the pageant. So like the first like 3 weeks, I would go into the gym twice. I would do, certain, workouts. And then up into the pageant, like I think maybe like 3 weeks leading up to the pageant, I go in every single day. So, and then she makes me take a week off like right before so I could give my muscles a rest. There's like water training too. Like you don't want to like retain too much water.
So you do like a weight cut?
Yeah. Well, towards the end. So you could see my abs and all of my muscle definition on stage. Like I have to be dehydrated.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's crazy.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it just like taught me discipline, I never used to work out like that, and it gave me serious discipline.
I can imagine. Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
something like that, that's extreme. I didn't know that you had to do basically doing a weight cut like a fighter would.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like unhealthy. Like I just won't drink as much water as I normally would. Like I used to during the training, I drink a gallon a day. That's pretty standard. But leading up to the pageant, I just like do like a glass of water or two. So you could see my muscle definition, everything I worked so hard for, and like how else are you going to stand out against, 200 women?
Right.
So you want to have every single ab show,
Yeah. How do you win a pageant?
So,
Is there like scoring with like, Briana in her swimsuit got a 9. Like how does that?
the first step when they interview you, they kind of circle all of their favorites. So like they go through 200 women and they circle the names of who they want to see in the finals or who they're going to keep an eye out during preliminaries. So they'll do like a little circle. The next day, they'll keep an eye out for their like little circles or any other girls that stand out to them. And I mean, I'm not sure exactly how like numbering works, but they'll narrow it down based on like the consistency of the girls that each judge chose, So like if 5 judges chose me as their top 5 or like their favorite girl or their winner, like I would obviously, be up there somewhere. So, but that's where it messes with you. Like if one guy really likes me and then one girl is like, she's too short or she's blah, 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 she'll rank me as her number 5. And then, 3 people rank me as their number 1. Like this ranking will screw me up and give me first runner up, when someone who has a consistent second place across the board, she'll be the winner. And that's happened to me.
So they take like the average of all the.
Yeah. it's really messed up. But,
What kind of stresses are you going through when you're up there?
I think each year, like you see who returns, and a lot of the times like that gets in your head, you know, like could it be her year or could it be my year, you know, like so constantly comparing yourself to other women. Like at the end of the day, you're competing against yourself, like your mind, you know. So it's very mental. Like this whole process, it's all mental. It's like, how confident are you really? You know, it's a true test. So, yeah.
Damn, so you're like sizing girls up. You're like, oh, I saw
Yeah.
this chick the last 2 years, and
Yeah, and like girls do that to me too. They're like, you placed top 5 for the past 4 years. Like, girl, I'm not making friends at these pageants. Girls don't want to talk to me, you know? Like
they're
they're
intimidated.
sizing, yeah, they're sizing me up too. So, yeah, and you get in your head, you like think about all the questions they may ask you. They're like, oh, you know, are they going to ask about Donald Trump? You know, are they going to ask about, like, you just don't know, you know? So, and you're wearing 9-inch heels. So you're like, am I going to fall? That's also a big one. People fall all the time. Like, it's really sad, you know? And the stage is like a little slippery. Like they do like a little glossy stage to make it look nice. And I remember one year, like one girl was sweating on stage. So there was this one spot where everyone slipped. I slipped once in my dress. I stepped on my gown and I slipped. I did like a little 1-2 and then I got back to it.
Stanky leg.
Right.
How'd you feel when you won Miss Long Island?
I was shocked, you know, because I lost, well, not lost. I placed first runner-up Miss New York and then second runner-up at Miss New York. And that's when I went and competed for Miss Long Island. So I didn't know what it felt like to win, you know. I was getting so close. So when they announced the first runner-up's name and it wasn't mine, I'm like, really? You know, like seriously? And then I just broke down. I'm like, no way. I look into the audience. My family's hysterical. Like they're so happy. Yeah, it was really emotional.
Are there other girls like you who consistently finish that high? So is that like a feather in your cap?
I mean, I like to know that I'm consistent because each year the judges panel is totally different.
Oh.
Yeah, they want a different thing. Like it could be like a newscaster, it could be a former NFL player. Like they pick the most random people to judge these pageants, and they always want a different thing. So like to know that I'm consistently chosen at that high ranking, I'm like, it's a nice feeling, you know, but it's also super frustrating.
Yeah, because like you haven't really gotten over the hump to actually take it down.
I'm like, what is it gonna take, you know?
What? How much longer can you compete?
I have 1 more year that I'm eligible. I'm 27, so that's the last.
And then that's it. Like you can't.
That's it.
Damn, you're like an NFL running back,
right?
You have like 5 to 6 years, and
you
then
know what's funny? I heard something. I thought of you. It was, you're more likely to have a son compete at a Super Bowl than have a daughter compete at Miss USA.
Just Miss USA.
Yeah, because there's 51 women competing, including Washington D.C. And then like football, you know, I don't know how that works. Not comparing like athleticism or anything like that.
No,
but,
no. But
statistics wise, they say that like it's just really difficult to get to Miss USA because you're like you're doing all these crazy things in your state pageant, you know. And look at me, 5 years running for Miss New York USA. I'm still not at Miss USA yet, you know. So.
Damn.
It's great. It's tough.
So when you go from Miss New York, what's the turnaround to Miss USA and then to Miss Universe? Because like everyone that knows me, they know that I love Olivia Colbo. She is like, first of all, to win Miss Universe means like there's like aliens and shit. There's like outer space, and they said that the number one. So like she's the number one. And she dates an NFL running back now, Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey.
Yep.
White running back too. Like that guy's the man.
Mm-hmm.
So from
Wait, I have something that you actually would really enjoy. I met her a few years back.
Stop.
Yeah. I met her at a New York Fashion Week event.
Bro.
We look like sisters.
Yo. Listen, she
Isn't
is
that funny?
This is the best thing you've ever shown me. This is amazing. Good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is dope. I mean, great girl. I'm just gonna leave it at great girl. Nowadays you could get in trouble if you say something outrageous. So I
don't even go there.
I just say great girl.
Just great girl.
Great girl.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So the pageant world is small. Like you kind of run into. I met a few Miss Universes, all amazing women. But yeah, you start.
Is it like a
in
sorority kind of?
No, I mean you kind of go to the same events. Like I met her at a Fashion Week event. I met Demi Lee, who's married to Tim Tebow. I met her at another.
Tim Tebow, just from one Miss Universe to another.
I know.
Who got it better than him?
You got a type.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Guy's so hot too.
Yeah. So I met her. She's wonderful. But yeah, it's kind of small.
So I want to go back though, because I got sidetracked because
Sorry.
the girl sprung with. But so you go from Miss New York. What's the turnaround from Miss New York or Miss Texas, whatever it might be, to then Miss USA, and then from there to Miss Universe?
So, well, every state pageant takes place at a different time of the year.
Oh.
New York is in January, and it's the biggest state pageant. So the other pageants will like run through the summer and like at the beginning of the fall. Miss New York is usually the latest pageant, and from January, that's when it typically takes place. It was postponed this year. Miss USA is around the summertime. So all of the 50 states have their girls, and they all train for the pageant in the summer. And it's usually televised on Fox. And the winner goes to Miss Universe and competes with 90 different countries.
Damn.
Yeah.
That shit gotta be life changing if you win Miss Universe, right?
Yeah. You get to travel the world. You get to work with whatever charity you want.
I mean, all the brands that would hit you up to give you just free shit.
Well, that too,
I love free shit. Yeah. So like when I just see sponsors, I'm just like, yeah, send whatever you want. It's all good. Of course,
yeah. I'm sure they get a lot of free stuff.
What does the training change from like local to from what you've heard? Or do you just kind of keep the same regimen?
I know you get a whole new team. Like as soon as you win a state pageant, they just are full hands.
You mentioned how there's more funding and there's more attention on you.
Yeah, like you have a budget to work with. Like you have a walking coach that's designated, for Miss New York. You go to like pageant boot camp, where they like, work
hit you with chains and shit.
Basically, you do a lot of push-ups. Yeah, you get dress money, you get wardrobe money. A lot of companies reach out to you and say like, hey, I'll give you an outfit if you could take a picture at Miss USA. So a lot of that stuff, but I don't know how much it changes, like, preparation. Probably not much. It's super intense, both of the pageants. So yeah.
That's fascinating.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I didn't know all these.
I probably knew as much as you do about pageants when I first signed up in 2016. I knew nothing. Zero. I didn't know anything. I thought there was still a talent portion, but that's a whole different organization. That's a Miss America organization. Totally different system. It's not like sexy, va va boom, Miss USA, Miss Universe, Olivia Colpo. No, it's like philanthropic, very like scholarship based. So
how would you describe all that? Like I had wrote to you. And you're like, dude, I hate how that sounds. When I was like, are you a model?
Oh, only because like I do so many things, and I feel like
you don't want to be pigeonholed in one thing.
Yeah, like when you think of models, you think of like, I don't know, you have your own like preconceived opinions about
Right, and then
models.
also now with social media, there's like Instagram models
Yeah, and
where
I'm very far from that.
yeah, the one thing I like about you too is that your page is private.
Yeah.
I think that's dope because it's a weird thing, right? Like, and I'm gonna sound very hypocritical. I totally get it because everything that I do and that's been funded from like just everything is because my whole brand is on social media.
Right.
So I can't have my page private.
Of course.
But I think it's dope when a girl does. It's like a weird sort of like, I don't want to call it a red flag if her page is public. I don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But I think there's something attractive to a girl who has her page private. Because in my head, I'm like, she doesn't seek Bob 765's opinion.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like the people that you choose to let follow you, you know or know of.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You
Yeah,
follow what
no,
I'm saying?
I do, and it wasn't always that way for me. I feel like my mindset changed. Like when I was very involved in pageantry and very involved in modeling and that whole kind of lifestyle, like, yeah, I was trying to get the followers. I was, posting pictures all the time. I was public. Like, I wanted that, and now I'm like, it freaks me out having a public page, like having anyone to be able to see what you're doing. It freaks me out. I understand from a business perspective, it makes total sense because it's easier to find the business and interact with the business. But for me, I'm like, there's just simply no reason. It doesn't interest me anymore, I like my little private lifestyle. Like, it's just, yeah.
That doesn't hold you back from anything, does it?
No.
Like as far as like the competing and the beauty pageant thing?
No, I think if I decided to compete again, it might hold me back, like representing the state of New York, going to Miss USA. Like, people are going to want to see what I'm doing with my title. So I would do it for that reason,
You'd be an idiot not to.
Right. Yeah.
Just being honest with you.
No,
Like,
you're
at
right.
that stage, you shouldn't. Like,
I know. Right now, for me, it's the perfect situation. But, if I did get that title, then I would make adjustments for sure.